When we talk about iconic action films of the 80s and 90s, two names immediately come to mind: Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. They weren't just actors, they were symbols of an entire era, battling not only on screen, but also in real life. Their rivalry is one of the most famous feuds in Hollywood history. But how did it start? Why did they hate each other so much? And how did it all end? Stallone and Schwarzenegger came to Hollywood in very different ways. Sly was an actor struggling through poverty, attending hundreds of auditions, living in cheap motels, and even starring in adult films before writing the script for Rocky and insisting on playing the lead role. The film became a sensation, won an Oscar, and turned Stallone into a star. Arnold, on the other hand, took a completely different path to success. He was a professional bodybuilder and, by the age of 20, had already won the Mr. Universe title, later claiming Mr. Olympia 7 times. He wanted to be in movies, but with his strong accent and massive muscles, he was only offered supporting roles as athletes. Everything changed when he starred in Conan the Barbarian, followed by The Terminator, which made him a superstar. Both Stallone and Schwarzenegger didn't just dream of worldwide fame. They wanted to be the #1 action star, and the studios eagerly fueled their egos. Hollywood was undergoing a major transformation. Superman and Star Wars had marked the end of the gritty realism of the 70s, and studios had shifted into blockbuster mode. A new type of hero was needed for this new era. Every new film was compared to the other's work. If Stallone released Rambo, Schwarzenegger responded with Commando. Cobra came out, Arnie hit back with Predator. They were literally competing over who was tougher, whose films made more at the box office, who had the most explosions, kills, and badass one-liners. In 1984, Sly received his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and in 1985, he became the highest-paid actor in the world. For Rocky IV and Rambo, First Blood Part 2, he earned $12 million each, almost twice as much as Schwarzenegger, who had only begun receiving recognition by 1985. Stallone had terrible luck with women. His wild affairs, which led to his first divorce, were the talk of Hollywood, and he actively cultivated his macho image. Schwarzenegger, in contrast, maintained the image of a devoted family man, carefully courting journalist Maria Shriver, the niece of John F. Kennedy. Whether it was a calculated move for his future political career or not, they got married in 1986. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Arnold had accepted an offer from producer Dino De Laurentiis to shoot Red Sonja in Italy. His co-star was a fiery red-haired model, Brigitte Nielsen, more ambitious than both Sly and Arnie combined. Her path to Hollywood ran through the bedroom, and the Danish beauty quickly captivated Schwarzenegger. Forgetting about Maria, he took Brigitte to expensive restaurants, visited his parents in Graz, and seemed ready to propose, until his fiancée found out about the affair. To resolve the situation and get rid of the persistent seductress, Arnold introduced her to Stallone. Their marriage became one of the most talked about events in Hollywood. Blinded by love, Stallone cast Brigitte in Rocky IV and Cobra, but that wasn't enough for her. She wanted leading roles, her own production company, and the kind of influence in Hollywood that took years of hard work to earn. Their divorce was so bitter that Stallone vowed never to marry again, entrusting his mother with selecting his future partners. Personal troubles dulled Stallone's business instincts. The extravagant Rambo 3, with its then record $63 million budget, was released just as the Cold War was ending, with Gorbachev and Reagan shaking hands and Soviet troops withdrawing from Afghanistan. The film flopped, making its failure even more painful in light of Schwarzenegger's growing success. Sensing his own rising dominance, Arnold openly mocked Stallone. In Twins, his character compares biceps with a Rambo 3 poster of Sly before dismissively waving it off. That scene sparked a long-running cinematic back and forth, starting as jabs but later turning into tributes. In Tango and Cash, Ray Tango tells Robert Zidar's character that he'd look good in Conan the Barbarian.
Yes! Yes! I loved you in Conan the Barbarian!
Then, in Last Action Hero, it's Stallone himself who appears on a Terminator 2 poster.
No, it isn't possible.
What's not possible? He's fantastic. This is his best performance ever.
Stallone responded to him in the movie Demolition Man by making Schwarzenegger the president.
Schwarzenegger Library?
Yes, the Schwarzenegger Presidential Library. Wasn't he an actor when you...
Stop. He was president?
Yes.
One of the funniest moments in their rivalry came in the early 90s when Arnold tricked Stallone into starring in a terrible movie. Producers had offered Schwarzenegger the lead role in the comedy Stop, or My Mom Will Shoot, 1992. Realizing the film would be a disaster, Arnold played the perfect PR move. He pretended to be highly interested in the project. Stallone, unwilling to let his rival take the role, quickly snatched it up. The result? The movie bombed, and Schwarzenegger had the last laugh. By the early 90s, Sly and Arnie were seen together for the first time, awkwardly dancing at the Golden Globe press conference. Then, in October 1991, they co-opened the first Planet Hollywood restaurant in New York, alongside Demi Moore and Bruce Willis. Today, there's no real feud between Stallone and Schwarzenegger. By the early 2000s, everything had changed. The golden era of classic action films was over. Audiences had shifted their attention to superheroes and sci-fi, and the once untouchable stars had lost their grip. Schwarzenegger left for politics, becoming the governor of California, while Stallone struggled to reinvent himself in different genres, mostly without success. During this period, they began reconnecting. Hollywood had changed, and instead of rivalry, they realized they were no longer competitors, but part of cinematic history. At premieres, they exchanged friendly comments, and once they were even spotted sitting together at a charity dinner. It was during this time that they unexpectedly reconciled. In 2010, Arnold made a cameo in Stallone's The Expendables, and later, they co-starred in Escape Plan. Their friendship reached a new level. They now support each other's projects and frequently appear together in public, reminiscing about their old feud with a smile. In a way, their rivalry was what propelled their careers forward. The desire to outdo each other pushed them to seek out the most spectacular projects, put everything into their films, and fight for audiences. And now, decades later, they both remain legends, even though their era has passed. So, in the end, who won this clash of titans? The truth is, no one. Because their competition created the action genre as we know it. Without Stallone and Schwarzenegger, it wouldn't have become so iconic. But most importantly, their rivalry gave us dozens of legendary films that we still rewatch today. So, in a way, we were the real winners. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.